China is a huge country, 30% larger than Australia. So our group of tourists could only really see 14 areas, Guilin first, then a long overnight flight to the Himalayan foothills at Kunming. Leaving our Golden Dragon Hotel, we drive 100 kilometres west to the Stone Forest. On the way we found a thriving people's market. Just look at those crowds.
How about 15 minutes?
All sorts of transport. Even the local policemen seem to run a taxi service. There's one of the famous little diesel tractors, used as a family car in this part of the world. Masses of beautiful fresh produce, just look at it. I really like being photographed. The industrious nature of the Chinese show here. They're all very hard-working people. Not sure yet, but just watch this little smile. Two members of our team come back from their foray into the markets. One child per family really shows up here. They love their children. In fact, they're inclined to be a little bit spoilt. Lots of produce now. We're amongst the rice growing area and heading up into the hills. We're now some 8,500 to 9,000 feet above sea level, heading for something like 10,000 feet. En route we come to a beautiful lake where we stop for morning tea. Down in the lake, of course, always fishermen and their fish traps, and there is a little boat with the fishermen hard at work. A beautiful sight. Every bit of fertile ground is used for cropping, except of course the bare hillsides. Quite spectacular scenery, and a delightful little village tucked away in the hollow. These people are tea pickers. But back to morning tea, and here of course the inevitable shop. Lots of jade carving, but I think they might be a little bit heavy to take home on the airplane, even if we did want them. And of course rows and rows of Chinese paintings. But the morning tea was on and we're eating locally grown walnuts. And there is a special wood block in which the walnut is placed and hit with the little wooden hammer to break it. And Marjorie is really enjoying this one. Fresh, really tasty. We could have stayed there quite a long time, but time to go. On the road again and a truckload of Chinese soldiers. Everywhere in China there are many soldiers. Security in this part is especially serious because it's fairly close to some of the unsettled regions of Burma and Vietnam. Riding into the foothills. There's a truckload of coke and a soldier on a bike with a rifle. That's a grove of Australian blue gums. They really thrive here, as they do in many other parts of the world. There are some stooks of hay in the rice fields. This is an important part of the winter feed in this part of the world. Although Kunming is called the City of Eternal Spring, apparently there are distinct seasons, and the rice growing season is now in full swing. And rice is being dried along the roadside in many parts, as you'll see shortly.
This town is called Yiliang, Y-I-L-I-A-N-G. Takes its name from the meaning of this area is good for planting and growing crops, which it is. Quite a rich little town because of that.
The trucks you see going along the road are mostly carrying coal or coke. This is quite a prolific area for coal mining, lots of coal underlying those hills, and a lot of coke is produced locally for local industry and for export a little further throughout the province.
Just up ahead you'll see some taxis now, horse-drawn taxis with half a dozen people on board. You'll see them quite along here, they run into this town.
We've now come to a little village on a river, and there's the weir and the bridge over the river, and there are truckloads of coke being transported back toward Kunming, and on the bank very primitive beehive coke ovens, very old, and they would date way back into the last century, but still being used successfully, obviously, to produce coke, and good quality coke, large strong coke, ideal for use in foundries. And on the hill, a cement plant, and to the left, as we swing around now, another cement or lime plant, and on the river bank, a power plant. Quite a major centre of industry. And these little beehive coke ovens, primitive though they may be, produce beautiful coke. There it is, strong, large coke, ideal for foundry use. And there is the taxi loading another passenger to take them into town. But we have to go, and of course whenever we stop there's always somebody selling something. These people are selling beautiful fresh pomegranates. And along the road, rice being grown. Everywhere there's a flat area of warm land or bitumen on which they can grow dry rice. They spread it out and winnow the rice and dry the grain everywhere. We're now approaching the stone forest. And that's our first sight of these wonderful limestone karst formations which have formed the stone forest. The inevitable tourist stalls, of course. Whenever there are tourists, there's somebody there to sell something to them. But it's been a long trip from Kunming and we're hungry, ready for lunch. And it was a good lunch. Beautiful Chinese food. Who knows what it was, but it tasted great. And of course, the inevitable beer. Chinese beer is good. It's all based on German brewing technology and it's German style lagers they produce. A good beer in almost every town. As you can see, Carl enjoyed that one. And the food, just look at that. Very hard to beat. Lots of it too. Shirley was serving Bruce and he was ready for more. Margie was doing well with her chopsticks. And at the other table they were doing just as well too. Yum yum. And Margie was looking after the photographer too. But away from the lunch room to bougainvillea growing over the gate, and then through the trees our first glimpse of the lake and the limestone karst formations. Then of course we had to pass the stalls to get there. They were all very good quality, and if one could carry them and if one wanted them, they were very, very good buying. These are the local minority costumes. They are Dai people. Another minority costume. And again. There are 26 minority groups in this area, and there is Gwen doing some pretty hard negotiating. But I don't think the vendor is going to take it on. No, Marjorie bought that. Quite beautiful. A little purse and bag for our granddaughter Nadia. Truly delightful. They don't give up. They are really keen sellers and a little hard to get away from them. But finally, away we go to the stone forest, put our purchases in the bus first, and then down the track to the forest. This little girl wasn't very keen to be photographed. Looking across the lake to these limestone karst formations, it's a very, very beautiful spot. And there's an idyllic scene, a herdsman with his goats and cattle. Here's a confrontation between two goats. Whack. Whack again. But the old buffalo just keeps on his way. In fact, he looks to be headed straight for our party of tourists. And I think they're a little uncertain, but actually the buffalo takes the side track and all is well. A lovely sound of the bells. And there is the goat herdsman. These buffaloes need to know where they're going. And these are a lighter coloured variety. Now we head up into the hills and down into the stone forest. A nicely paved pathway leads up into the first vantage point, and there it is, a rest stop, from which we can see way out into the karst formation of the stone forest. Truly delightful spot. Covered an area of some 36 hectares. Down the track, a delightful pool with rock formations in the pool shaped somewhat like animals. These three little girls adopted us on the way and seem to travel right round with us. delightful children. And here we are at a fun park in the middle of the stone forest. As you can see, we've got all sorts of interesting animals. And just look at that headdress, really smart. This fellow was tired in the shade, and his horse helped shade him a little more. And to the left we had a hungry little fella, but all was well. This camel seemed to be looking a bit tired and shaky in the legs. I think he thought he maybe should have a sit down, and that's exactly what he did. The walkway was quite narrow in places. That was a beautiful formation. And here we had to duck our head. And another rest stop. More minority dress. This is the hollow limestone which rings like a bell when struck. Another delightful single child. Well-developed walkways around the ponds amidst the limestone karst formations. Extremely attractively done. It was very high in places, as you can see. And there's somebody up on top.
I've been practicing.
You must go around way, round about there.
Little girls have found some nice vines to swing on. Those voices are our little minority group having a great time.
Beautiful voices.
Another rest stop. More hollow limestone.
Go ahead, Lee.
他上那个吗？
Shirley, just take it.
Another lookout up on the hill. And here is Grandma with her only grandchild, because with only one child per family, there's only one grandchild. She's very proud of him. We head back towards Kunming, and there is a big truckload of very large coke with a rather risky passenger on the back. Back at the lake, there is the power plant on the other side. We stopped briefly to have another look at the fishermen at work. Here we are back at our hotel.
Back of the Golden Dragon Hotel.
Finishing your taxis, you can appreciate both special features
And over dinner that evening, a wonderful show.
no minorities. All of them will take you into your fantastical dreams, and you will come to the world of the ancient and the mystical sea. I'm sure that you will have a wonderful evening. And the dragon is a token of the hotel's theme. Do you like the dragon of our country? Now, please enjoy the national dance of Dragon Lake.
unfortunately the restaurant had some rather rowdy Korean patrons as well who spoke loudly right through the show and rather spoiled it for the other diners. But notwithstanding that, it was truly superb.
Are wearing the beautiful garments with a luxuriance. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy our dance. My dear girls, look please. Our beautiful girls of the royal dye are coming to us with a dancing thread song. whom our beautiful girls love may receive the best. I wish you luck. 朋友们，一会儿呢，我们的花腰仔姑娘将向您赠送精美的小花包，但不是每一位客人都有幸能够得到它，只有我们的姑娘喜欢谁，才会将花包送给谁。朋友，祝您好运！ 彝族姑娘 ，She is from the Chuzhou County. Look, please, what a unique style her beautiful skirts have. 您看，她的裙子别有一番风味。这位是居住在昆明路南的彝族沙彝族姑娘，仅仅是她漂亮的帽子和披肩就特别招人喜爱。 She lives in Lunan County around the stone forest. 手板敲得多欢，就好像在说，我也是来自红河岸边的彝族姑娘，欢迎您，远方的朋友。They are also from the bank of the Honghe River.
'It had been a great show the previous night after a truly wonderful day out in the Stone Forest. But here we are gathered in the foyer next morning, looking a little disconsolate as we look at the waterfall at the back of the hotel lobby and look out to teeming heavy rain. We could have gone across the road to the Friendship store, except we'd get pretty wet getting there. Looking around the lobby, everybody was looking a little disappointed, trying to figure out what to do. And when you think about it, there was really only one thing to do, and that was to have a look at the truly excellent shops on the mezzanine floor of the hotel, just above the lobby. There are lots of carved jade, of course, jade everywhere, but somehow I think that might be a little heavy to carry back on the airplane. This is a magnificent kite hanging from the ceiling, a huge kite, silk on the wire frame. Lots of batik and brocade. That is a traditional 100 men 100 Chinese men embroidered on brocade.
This is what we can look at. This is right here. So we can get one day.
And there was a good art gallery. Some of the painting surprisingly modern. Just look at that one. And this woodcut of the hunt. Superb animals and the hunter, and he becomes the hunted too. Lots of magnificent Chinese embroidery and true China pottery, and of course lots of pandas, pandas everywhere. And superbly carved jade on nice stands, and beautiful pewter, magnificent pewter. And of course the silk screen embroidery, traditional Chinese craft. More carved jade, more pots. And down below in the foyer, things were looking a little brighter. The rain was diminishing, and maybe we might be able to go out. The pool outside, in fact, was showing the rain had almost stopped. So away we go to look at some of the magnificent sights around Kunming. This is the entryway to the Golden Temple. Incense on the forecourt leading up to the statue of Buddha. And there is Buddha with his attendants.
Can you get a picture of that, Mark?
And of course the inevitable wishing well, being well patronised by our group.
You'll be lucky. We'll lose your 5 cents.
Right.
But we're now heading away to the Golden Temple itself, right up on the hill. But on the way out, we'll look at some 800-year-old trees in this garden. These old trees are a very special feature of this garden. Still raining, but good pathways, beautiful paved pathways, a little slippery underfoot in places, and especially where it became a dirt track. But it was a delightful, damp forest on the hillside above Kunming. A great walk, ever up and up and up towards the Golden Temple right up on top. This is the typical moon gate in the wall. Then through the forest, the tracks are winding up the hill. A little rest pavilion on the way. And finally, the Golden Temple itself. A superb structure, with a winding staircase that takes you right up to a huge golden bell in the dome. But first the inevitable shop, then up the stairway, all the way up to the huge bronze golden bell right up top in the cupola. There's Marjorie on the second level on the way up, and looking down at the foyer, finally up top, and there's the bell. And outside the view was really great. Despite the misty, rainy day, we could still look right down into the valley below, and with the tele lens moving in, we can see the outskirts, the industrial outskirts of Kunming. But it's time to go down again, and we leave the big bronze bell back into the shop where we're making some last minute purchases, and away we go. That is a little waste receptacle.
Yeah.
The only time to get the kids. Hey, Gwen.
Boring.
Gwen, quick, quick. I love your knees.
That poncho was really something, but it kept him dry on the way back. He looks a little nonplussed. Back into the inner courtyard.
I learned only We use calculators now.
And another delightful single child per family with some very proud parents. And back to the entrance gateway, where we spot a truly delightful batik. Only 40 yuan, about $10 Australian. That was a really good buy, and we couldn't resist it. So inevitably, of course, there is Marjorie buying it from the vendor and coming out feeling pretty good. And here it is on the wall back in our home in Sydney. And outside, after the long climb at quite a high altitude, it was time to have our blood pressure checked. Mine, in fact, was very, very high. That evening, another wonderful show.
Very strange custom that a young man and a young woman should get along with each other for a long time, and they should live together for a long time. Only after they get a child can they get married.
I don't think that's quite the way she meant it to come out.
And this story is called it is a branch of the Han nationality. This is the white nationality. The white people live in the mountainous areas in Yunnan province, therefore all of them have a resolute character. And this dance is called swing hair dance. The girl with the long skirt is the Kunming nationality, and the other is Dino nationality. My friend, if you have been to Bali, I think you have known that these boys and girls come from Bali bioautonomous prefecture. They are the Bali nationality. The country is very beautiful, both for its scenery and is famous for its historical sites. And it is well known for its wind, light, and the series of
really wild stuff. This dance is quite magnificent.
Because it is kind of blessing of these girls. They wish you live a long life. Would you like to light the candles for them?
No matches. Got matches.
The men in our party were of course invited to light the candles for the girls doing the flame dance.
It is a classical dance which tends to show the dignified nature of the dance.
And in the true spirit of audience participation, our tour group enthusiastically joined in the final dance. It was a great end to our second wonderful day in Kunming.
So I hope you enjoy them, and if you have a chance, please come to our restaurant again. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye.
Next morning, wet, wet, wet again. And what do you do on a wet day in Kunming? Well, I guess like a wet day in any city in the world. You go to the museum. And on the way we really saw some fine shots of the town. All the bicycles out and all the bicycle riders wearing their very colourful ponchos. Quite a sight.
In our company, we have more than 100 staff. Among them, more than 50% have their own partner inside the company. Quite hard because
in the background, our local guide was telling us about her lifestyle in Kunming, how she worked for the China International Travel Service, guiding tour groups around her city, and how on a fairly modest salary she had to pay rent for a very humble little place outside town, how because the traffic in town was designed primarily for the bicycle, she could not really use the bus system to reach her place of work from her home, and like all the other bicyclists, she had to put on a poncho, ride her bike in the wet and get to work surprisingly tidily dressed. I'm amazed that she can do it.
Oh yeah, 20 years old. You couldn't get a bus, you get a bus to work where you live. Bus. From your home to work. No, not that bus, one of these buses. Any public transport. You have to ride a bike or you walk.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Just ride
It's very wet, maybe change the bus. It's getting wet on the bike. We're having all sorts of trouble today, aren't we?
You don't ever provide any special parking. You don't ever have a parking area.
And here is the museum, a magnificent building, but unfortunately no photography was allowed inside. So immediately after the viewing of the wonderful exhibits, we went to look at the typical market. Here are some turtles awaiting somebody to buy them, and some tortoises. Good food. And lizards. Lizards are a highly regarded delicacy in China. I'm sure we ate them during our travels. I'm not sure we knew what they were, but without doubt we would have sampled them. And here are more turtles trying to get out. I don't think they have much chance, but they're tryers. And look at that tortoise. Trying hard, but I don't think it's going to work. The way they kill them is apply a cigarette lighter to their tail, and when their head pops out they chop it off. They then hammer the shell with a hammer and break it up and then cook the flesh as a delicacy. These are birds, all shapes and sizes of birds. Everything you could think of was here on sale. Pot plants, very wet but very busy. These are tiny little birds, which apparently are sold for food. I guess if you had enough of them there'd be a meal. In China, everything that moves is eaten. More pot plants, which Marjorie inspects before moving off down the street. And here we find a pottery cellar, cage birds, these are mealyworms. The mealyworms are fed to the birds.
Well, it's true for both of them. If they want those, at least I want to get over there. That's right. Up here, yeah. I have thousands on the phone.
Sparrows are cage birds in China. That's a minor bird in a cage. These are marron or freshwater yabbies. They come in all shapes and sizes and colours. These actually are goldfish. There, the green being made ready for breakfast, right on the sidewalk. This is a woman skinning out the offal from the inside of a buffalo. Maybe not the most appetising food in the world, but it's all protein. I'm not sure what they are, but that's to say there might be small shrimps or something. In fact, they are. Not doing the washing up, that's what we're going to have for lunch. Main drag. The ponchos are off, but still colourful. The bicycles are still wet to ride though, I think. And this is Kunming's newest department store, just opened. This is the cassette counter. High fashion, but high price too. This is truly a deluxe store, but the prices are really high, and I suspect the Chinese can simply look, they can never afford to buy things at the prices charged here. The salaries they earn, look at that, that is high fashion. One generator is worth 9,400 renminbi or yuan, which is about $2,100 Australian. There is a Yamaha keyboard for about 800 Australian dollars. And the vacuum cleaner for about 150 Australian dollars. That's a Panasonic F10 video camera, about $3,000 in Australia, equivalent to about $5,000 in Kunming. Refrigerator for 1,780 yuan, or about 450 Australian dollars. TV for 3,980 yuan, or about roughly 1,000 Australian dollars. There's lots of interest in the motorbike. And here again is the tape counter, a centre of real attention by the Chinese. Just look at this delightful old couple. They came to this new store, had a peep in, found it frightening and turned away.
Even if I do actually lose work.
Back to our bus at the museum where we left it parked. Picture stop.
I've never heard of it before. Yeah, no, I've never.
No, I wouldn't like to be up 10 stories on a bamboo structure. Well, picture they had bamboo.
Oh, they haven't more than 10 stories. You go to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
All scaffolding in Hong Kong. Yeah, it'll flatten out, I'm sure. This is very similar to Suzhou.
Of Yunnan province.
Provincial Hospital of Yunnan. I was only talking our term, General Hospital. We have a patient. He's flat out down the back. We've got to take him out on a stretcher.
This is the local hospital of Kunming. where one member of our party has lost a tooth and has gone to see a dentist to have the tooth replaced. For attention from the dentist. Meanwhile, we're going walkabout to explore the local town. Truly delightful. Works on the bicycle. The odd vehicle, but that's about all.
Still close.
Again, the one child per family. Father's so proud of him. There's another one.
Somewhere in Europe, cut it effect. Got a broken arm. Broke your arm.
Always ready to speak where they can. Very few have any English, but any English at all they want to practice. We're about to meet a 20-year-old university student whose father is a professor of economics at Kunming University. She learnt her English listening to Radio Australia.
Yes. So I think I know a lot about you. Yeah, about Australia, I mean. We're 20 years old.
That lady broke her arm. I was trying to ask her how she broke her arm. Did she fall over?
Yeah.
Well, you asked her how she broke her arm.
Okay, I beg your pardon.
She broke her arm.
She broke her arm.
What would she do to break her arm?
Oh, break her arm. Cool.
That lady did. She has a broken arm.
That one?
This one?
No, this one here broke her arm.
Oh, okay. 好像我你们那里的手指，这个是哪一关啊？刮中，Oh, okay. Just by accident.
Yeah, did she fall? Did she fall over? Bang.
Yes, fall over. Yes, fall over. Very good. Yes. Yes. 这是我闹。闹了话。Okay, if you have time, I'd like to talk with you for a little bit long.
Yes.
Got a bit of time.
Yes. Because just now I just went to swimming pool, but
You got your braid with me.
Yes, no, I'm afraid.
You've got nothing to do because there's no swimming today.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, we'd like to talk.
Okay, if you have time, I'd
Yeah,
like
we
to
have
talk
time.
with you. My major is in Chinese culture. Yes, just work for a month. I just I'll give you a country to study.
Right, good. You might be a film star one day.
Yeah?
You know what a film star is?
Yes, there is, but it's very
Or
hard
you-
for you to choose.
Or you might become a tourist guide.
Yes.
A guide for Tourist Association.
Oh yeah, if you like to know, I will tell you the reason why I can't be a...
Can't you be a guide?
Yeah,
Why?
because there's many reasons.
What are they?
Okay, shall we... Okay, always...
Political.
Yeah, political.
Oh, right.
Are you minority? Are you minority or you ham?
The crowd that gathered around us caused a traffic jam and became quite an embarrassment for the local authorities. The police came along and moved them on. This seemed to happen wherever we stopped and started to talk English. They wanted to talk with us, but such a crowd always emerged that we found it a problem. Just look at that old lady.
Got a card, I'll send you a photo of it.
That's so good.
You have got a card?
Yes.
Can you write it down for me?
Yes, I have,
Have you got a bit of paper?
but my English name is Ruth.
Got a bit of paper?
Her English is excellent.
The police moved them on.
And we commented that she would make a
A really nice fruit stall, delightful fresh fruit. We sampled some, it was great. This is all our group, straggling up the street, a bit like Brown's cows, but I guess it introduces all of them to you, except those back at the hospital.
Yeah.
You have to keep learning your English.
Yeah. Yeah.
English is very good.
Yeah.
Oh,
A little girl came back to the hospital with us to talk.
where's our patient? She's not back yet.
Not back yet, no, they haven't gone to private.
Oh, did they?
Yes, the dentists in here were on a rest, so they sent them to a private.
Oh, I see. Oh, I knew they came out, but I thought it was just that they had to wait because they were on lunch or
They sent
something.
them down to a private dentist.
That mightn't be good between you and us, though.
No.
I'll write and send you then.
If I go to Australia, I want to visit all of you. It's so nice meeting you here.
That was a special for the camera. But we're now about to go, and she's sad to see us going, but enjoyed meeting us.
We just walked down through the market. Yes. Very interesting. Yeah. Yeah, fix.
Well, bye-bye. Very nice meeting. We're going now. The camera
Okay.
Our next stop at another temple.
you can have just one job.
One job.
Is that right?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
In blue? Yeah.
You know that Crazy Monk? No? He always, Crazy Monk.
With all these figures, you pick a number and then start to count them. And the one you land on at your number is the lifestyle you're going to have from here on. This is the Dai Temple.
Yes.
Look at that. This is another really good day.
This is the start of the famous Burma Road from Kunming to Rangoon.
The entrance to Western Lake.
During the cultural revolution.
This is the west lake of Kunming, and on the right is the slope leading up to the Western Hills.
In Turkey, they'd be all up. Yeah.
And right up on top of the Western Hills is the Dragon Gate Pagoda. Looking out over Westlake and beyond to Kunming. Somewhere in that smog.
Okay.